All right. And so, what do we expect? First is,
But
I want to
is
believe that
I
I was
want
told that we have some persons who are professionals, some are beginner level. So, just to like take a survey, um, how many of us here have heard about Power BI? Or how many of us are into data analytics? Or how many of us are still practicing medical professionals? So let me start with how many of us are practicing medical professionals? Uh, I can't see, I can't see the chart. Just so I know.
So I can see
Okay,
we have Doc May Wada.
peace. Okay.
I think
like
I
how do
saw
we
two other
indicate?
hands.
Uh, yeah, I
So,
think it should be
so
clear on how to indicate. Like, should
yes, in the chat, so that I would know. That would now guide my presentation. You know. Okay. Dr. Maywada, I am. All right, all right, that's good. Peace, Ikehi. Okay. So now next question. How many of us are familiar with the tools for business intelligence, you know, when it comes to data analytics? Oh, nobody. No indication. Okay. I am not. Okay. Who else? I am. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So one person. I am. Okay, Rita. Okay. Business intelligence tools. Yes. All right. Okay, good. Thank you so much. That helps. So what to expect? Today we're going to understand the various domains and various functions. All right. Then data analysis, what it entails. And then after that, we get to understand tools and then hands-on illustration. So domains, we have, these are the main domains: FMCG, automotive, banking, healthcare. And please, at any point, if I'm too fast, you just let me know. If I'm not clear, Dr. Ken, please let me know. Then we have insurance, telecoms, and constructions. These are the main domains, all right? Now, FMCG is standing for fast moving consumer goods. Automotive, which stands for all those luxurious vehicles, you know, and all that. That's the domain, you know. Then banking, financial domain. Healthcare, which is our bias, which is where we're concerned. All right. Insurance domain, life insurance, all that. Family insurance, you know, all that. Telecoms, that is the data providers, the people that made me come late today and all that, telecoms. There's also various functions you can carry out there. Then there's construction. Now, because our concern today is healthcare. Now, in the healthcare domain, there are different functions that you can carry out, and they are listed here at the bottom. You can carry out sales function. We can carry out marketing function. We carry out HR analytics. We can carry out supply chain because, and I'll just touch on each of them, and we can carry out finance. Now, for sales, you know, every institution, if you do not have data-driven decision as it is now, as regarding your sales, a hospital might think they are making so much money just because they have a lot of patients, and particular parameters are not in place. You know, what they are focusing on, or what is the cost of the drain in their revenue. They may not factor all that in. So sales analytics functions can be carried out in the healthcare domain. Marketing. Marketing, there are various things to consider when it comes to to the market in the marketing analytics, they will look at parameters such as safety, you know, and also marketing and sales work hand in hand, because when the certification bodies come in, there are particular things they are going to look out for, and these things should check out. That is um, um, cause of infections. There are some infections that could arise as a result of the stay in the hospital. There are some infections that could arise as a result of the procedure that was carried out and all that. So safety, effectiveness of treatness, um, timeliness, you know, patient-centered matrix. Those two are also going to be looked at, so that when they are pushing out their campaign, advert campaign, there are certain hospitals that are known for certain particular procedures. So looking at the interaction on, let's say, their platforms, their marketing analysts would see where is our demographic coming from based on the various persona, that is the various target clients. Then the HR analytics, you know, when they check what the hospital stands for, what is the hospital known for, you know, when they are looking out to hire, they have, and then to reduce churn, to reduce churn of staff and all that, to increase package, wellness, inclusion and all that. HR analytics would there when they are running out their putting out sampling of data, they want to ensure that no bias is in the data sets that they are sampling. That is now for the HR analytics. Now, supply chain. If it's there is a particular threshold they should not fall below based on hospital supplies, and that is very, very crucial. Both the pharmacy in the hospital, both the ER and everything, there should be no point in time. There are people who work round the clock to ensure that there is no out of stock scenario, So that is also, there is also function to be carried out there. Then we now have finance. Finance is the most lucrative function of any domain, because that is where the money is being talked about. That is where budgeting is done. That is where every head of department will have to lobby whoever is the head of finance to push their own budgets. So if finance have done the analytics and see that there is no room for expansion, or there is no room for buying that state-of-the-art equipment, then it's going to cause an issue for whichever department. So these are the various functions that can be carried out, in all these domains. Any questions so far before I continue? Okay, we are together. So now, data analytics, you are on a journey. So you think about all the data that is being generated each day in the health domain, from transactional data in a traditional database, telemetry data from services that you use, to signals that you get from different areas, such as your health tracker. Now, with data and information as the most strategic assets of a business, the underlying challenge that organizations have today is understanding and using their data to positively effect change within the business. Businesses, because it's a business, a hospital is being run for the purpose of making money. Whether it it's built as non-for-profit, but you just have to be able to be above a particular benchmark. Businesses continue to struggle to use their data in a meaningful and productive way, which impacts their ability to act. The key to unlocking this data is being able to tell the story with it. In today's highly competitive, fast-paced business world, crafting reports that tells that story is what helps business leaders take action on the data. Business decision makers depend on an accurate story to drive better business decisions. The faster a business can make precise decisions, the more competitive they will be, and the better advantage they will have. Without the story, it is difficult to understand what the data is trying to tell you. All right. So what next? Our journey of telling a story with data also ties into building that data culture within your organization. While telling the story is important, where that story is told is also crucial. Ensuring that the story is told to the right people also makes sure that people can discover the story, that they know where to find it, and that it is part of the regular interaction. Now, after all the analysis, if you're not able to pick out actionable insights, emphasis on the word actionable insights, then it just remains in the computer or wherever that report is hosted. So data analysis exists to help overcome these challenges and pain points. What are the pain points? Why are we having high rates of low patients record? You know, when there is a record of 5-1, are you likely to recommend this hospital to someone? And every time the feedback is 1-1-1 or 2-2-2, you know, that is a pain point. Another pain point, why are we always going out of stock of particular medications? You know, another pain point, what can we do to maximize and reduce, to run a lean system, to run a system that is both profitable and effective? These are all pain points. So ultimately, assisting businesses in finding insights and uncovering hidden values in troves of data through storytelling. So tool of choice. So today we'll be looking at the use of Microsoft Business Intelligence tool called Power BI. The Microsoft Power BI is made up of three main components. There are so many other components to Power BI, but the three main components is the Power BI desktop, Power BI service, and the Power BI mobile. Now, the Power BI desktop is what we'll be working in. It's free to access to everyone. You can connect to multiple data sources through the Power BI desktop. Now, Power BI service is the cloud solution. Power BI service is where enterprise solution is where you can be able to share within Microsoft Teams, within people outside an organization, people within the organization, you know, interactive dashboard, you know, that is Power BI service. And the Power BI mobile is a mobile app, you know, for you to be able to effectively interact with your dashboard or reports. Now, more of this information on the Medics in Tech websites, which I know Dr. Ken is going to shed more light on that later on. So thank you. That is that for my presentation. And now we're going to go to our issue of today. Now, this is the data set we're working on. It's a hospital patient's discharge patients is in .csv format. So we are now going to open.
Are you still sharing your screen? You still stuck?
Yeah. No. I'm still sharing my screen.
You want to go?
I'm still sharing my screen. I just want to launch Power BI now. Can you all still see my screen?
No, you cannot see your screen.
Okay, yeah. Let me launch Power BI and reshare. I'm about launching Power BI. Then I'll reshare my screen. Power BI desktop. I'm launching Power BI. Once Power BI launches, I'll then reshare.
And can we also please have the data, maybe so that some of us
Yeah, sure. Okay, to walk along while I'm walking. So I'm resharing my screen again. So now we're going to blank reports, import get data from Excel, so that we have a view of the data sets. We're going to the data source. Now, it didn't show up because I didn't put it on all files. Now it's on all files, and then I'm going to get. So now we're importing the data. Now there are this is a data set from hospitals in the district of New York. Now this is Power Query Editor. Now this is where you get to after getting the data. When I got the data, it now brought us here. Now, one of the questions that the hospital is looking to understand is the counts, to get the counts of the hospital. But before that, we need to prepare, our data. Please confirm that you can see the Power Query window.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, you can, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, good. Now, this is the data sets, the hospital inpatient data sets. Now, the first thing you need to do, this is the raw data sets. It's comprised of how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 30 columns. And the columns have various topics. Now, one of the things that you look out for while analyzing a data set, one of the things to understand is that there are some terminologies that are being used here, which many of you will be familiar with. There's an inpatient, there's a discharge, then there is disposition, which is the status upon discharge, whether the patient was discharged to their home or to another hospital. All right, then the number of elective surgery. Now, the particular hospital, what they're concerned about is to find out the number of elective surgeries that were scheduled, for hip replacements. All right. Now, since this data set is comprising of all the data sets of all the hospitals in New York. Now, one of the problems they will want to answer is to find the count of hospitals. All right. To find the count of hospitals included in these data sets. And also to define the count of patients and some other things. Now, in our bid to prepare our data, there is one thing that is called a facts table, and there is another thing that is called dimension table. So we need to prepare that to be able to carry on with our analysis. So now, the way to go about it is you come here. Now, to some of us who are new to Power BI, this is where our applied steps. As I'm going on, you would notice the steps keep increasing here. All right. This is where we have the name of the data set we're working on. Okay. And then this is our, let me just move this to the side. This is our, the top ribbon is our ribbon where we're going to interact with our data sets. So to be able to create our dimension, our various dimension table from this main table, we're going to do this. We'll do it this way. You right click and you say reference. Okay. Why am I doing reference? I'm doing reference because so that should anything be added to this place, it's going to be included here. But before I do that, let us check our data set to be sure. Now, this positions you're seeing here is the data type. Like this is text data, this is text data, this is numerical data for operating certificate number. This is facility ID. Okay. I hope we can still see my screen. Dr. Ken,
Yes.
can you see my screen? Okay, the confirmation, yes. Now, facility name, age group, text data. Now, this column should be in text, but facility ID should not be in 1, 2, 3, because we would not want Power BI to be confused and to be giving us a summation of this. So we'll change this facility ID to text. Now, notice that this side is, and there's one thing I like to do when working on my data sets. A normal convention is to name your steps so that if you're working on a team, your teammates would see, okay, we understand what and what is going on. So I'll type here, change facility ID to text. Facility name, text, that's okay. Age group, text, fine. Zip code digits, you see, this is in text format. This is in the right format. Okay. Gender, yes. We have two distinct. Now, another thing you should be looking out for is here. Now, some of you in your Power BI, you do not have your column health visuals going on. So to be able to have this, you go to view and click on it, column quality. If I untick it, the column quality goes up. That is up here. If I untick column distribution, it goes up. So it helps to have this showing. Length of stay, 1, 2, 3, yes. We'll be working with the length of stay data at some points. Now, type of admission, elective. This is the people we're interested in. Those who have the elective procedures. That is the elective form of admission. It means that, to those who do not know, it means that their procedure was planned in advance. Okay. Patient disposition. That is the reason for discharge, at the point of discharge, home or self-care. All right. Discharge year. This is the discharge year. So check the data type. It's okay. Discharge year 1, 2, 3. Diagnosis code 1, 2, 3. It is not supposed to be 1, 2, 3. It should be text format. All right. What else? Procedure code 1, 2, 3. Change to text format again. Procedure description, fine. Hip replacement, APL discharge code. text format, PR description. Code again, change to text formats. This too should be in text formats. Again, let me explain. Why I'm changing to text format is we do not want to sum, because a point in time will come when we will need to find a distinct representation. Attending procedure license number text format as well, because this is not a numerical string. Operating procedure license number to text as well. Total charges, yes. So we're done with that. So now we can now, I'll delete this because this does not have deleting this. Yes. Delete this.
You have a
So this is a
question.
query.
You have someone.
Okay, someone has a question. Okay. Yeah, Deborah. Deborah,
Yes,
let's hear you.
yeah, please. My question is the year column.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I want to ask. It's not supposed to
Discharge
be
year.
on. Yeah, it's not supposed to be on date format. I thought I heard you say 1, 2, 3.
No. I said 1, 2, 3 for total discharge. Okay, yeah. Now, where is it? Where discharge year, right? It's supposed to be in date format. Discharge year. Okay, yes, it's supposed to be in date format. Now, okay, now let's see if we change it to date and see if that will work. Because again, when you let's try that. You see, it didn't work because it was originally it depends on how this how do I put it now? It depends on how this data set was created. Now, in a situation like this, what you now have to do is create your own date table, all right, and extract your year from it. I like that. That's a nice observation. It's supposed to be in date format, but you can see what just happened. It did not accept to be changed to a date. So in situations like this, is to now create your date table. All right. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
Someone has a question in the chat.
Okay, please ask.
Check the chat. The chat.
Okay, chat. All right. Please, sir, how do you know that a column should be in date format, in data format, or text format? Now, this is how you would how you would know. For instance, now, if you are when you're dealing with certificate number, okay, this certificate number, this is supposed to be in a text format, because if you do not change it to a text format, it will be giving you, add new step, it will be giving you sum of certificate number, and sum of certificate number is not what you want to do. All right. Facility ID should be text format as well. So that is how you know. Age also. Age cannot be in 1, 2, 3. Because it is the count of age you are looking for, a count of an age group, not sum of ages. So, Oluchi, have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. So back to gender text, zip code text. Also, zip code should be in text format. So now that we have prepared our data sets, now it's time to now start creating our dimension table. Now, the first dimension table we are going to create now is for the health service area. Okay, health service area. So I'm going to do reference and call this and rename this as dim or let's just say service area. Service area. Okay. So next we're going to look at is the procedures. Next we're going to look at is the procedures. Now, how many procedures do we have? Let's look at the column that has to do with procedures. I'm sliding through the procedures. There is okay, procedures. 5 distinct. So let's filter out and see blood transfusions. Okay, good. So there are 5 distinct. So next one is procedure. So rename and reference, and we'll call this, rename this and call this procedures. Okay. So you will all see, you will all just stick with me. You will see why we are doing all this. There is what we call, where we're creating this so that we can now have our data model. So now to the service area, I'll come here, choose column, on select and only select health service area and say okay. So we have our health service area. Now for procedure, choose column. Dr. Ken, if there is a question in the chat, please you let me know. Choose column, and then for procedure description, I guess this should be it. Yes, procedure description. Good. So now for service area, select the column, right click and remove duplicates. So now this will now become our dimension service area, dimension service area. Good. So you now see we now have our Western New York, Finger Lakes, Southern Tier, Central New York, Capital Adron, Hudson Valley, New York City, Long Island. Now for procedure, come here, right click, remove duplicates, and we have 23 procedures, 23 unique, 23 procedures. And then we now right click on this and call this our dimension procedure. Now, should we need to do anything later on, we can still always come back to Power Query and create more dimension table from this. All right. So now close and apply. I would reshare again, because when you close and apply,
I think
jump
you have a
out
question.
of.
You have a question. You know, when you mention
Okay.
some technical terms, you may need to like define them immediately.
Oh, all right. Apologies. So please, let me check the charts. Numerical data versus categorical data. What is dimension? Okay. What is dimension service area? Okay. Yes, I am coming to that. Now, we have loaded it. Let me save this because see, we've not yet saved our document. So please, let me save this before. Let me save this. So hospital analytics. Yes. So let me save. Now, what is the dimension? Now, when you talk about primary keys and secondary keys, now the dimension table is what helps you pull out your insights from your main key. So this in Power BI, this is report view. We are in the report view. Now, all we've been doing, see them here, the dimension procedure, dimension service area, and this is our facts table. This is our main table. So to create my model, I'm coming to the model view. And you can see Power BI has automatically created a relationship for us. I hope, can we all see this? Health service area. You can see it has already created a relationship with health service area. Okay. And then this has created a relationship with a one-to-many relationship with the columns are so much. That is why I'm trying to good. With can we see once you highlight on the relationship, can we see to procedure description? So this is what the dimension is. This dimension would help us pull out the necessary information we need. And so we'll start doing our analysis now so that you'll see why it is important to have this dimension.
So
Okay.
the dimension service area, I don't know whether
Yes.
isn't you didn't like explain what it is to the one who asked that question. I think it's just the service area. This view
Yeah.
that has the service areas, and then there's another view that has the procedures, and there is one that has the central one. So the person who asked that question, I don't know whether he has been cleared because he asked what is dimension service area.
Dimension, I only use the word dimension so I can differentiate my dimension table because these are my dimension tables, these two, from the facts table. This is the main table where the entire data set comes in. When you're doing database management, there's what we call primary key and secondary key. Your secondary keys are your dimension keys. It is the dimension keys, the unique entries. It is those unique entries that you use in pulling out distinct informations, from your main table.
I
So I'm only
understand.
just calling it dimension service area as my dimension key service areas. The service area are how many in number? I think they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 in area, in number. Am I able to?
Yeah, so those are the hospital service areas.
Yes, there's hospital service areas. Yes, we need this dimension table to be able to pull out the informations for each service area. For instance, when you want to check the count of patients now, with this dimension service area, I can now create a filter on the dashboard. Once I just click on it, it's the card visual would have the number of patients. If I don't do this, I wouldn't be able to get that distinct value. Does it make sense now?
Yeah.
Okay. To Mesoma, does it make sense what I just said? Because Mesoma asked the question. Mason, are you there? Okay, Mason said yes. Okay, good. Good. All right. Okay. So now the first thing we may want to see is to now start creating our measures.
You don't watch toilet now.
Was that question for me?
No, go
Now,
ahead, please.
okay,
Please go ahead.
now enter data and I'll call this measures. Okay, hope you saw where I went to. Or let me cancel before. See, you come here so that would create it's always good to have all your calculations in one place. You know, as we grow and as we grow in there are some analysis, you will see a lot of queries here. So if you don't arrange things accordingly, you will get confused. So now my formulas will now have to be in one place. Enter data, and I'll call this formula. Okay, and say load. So we now have our formula. So now we want to see the we want to see the counts of hospitals. That is the number of hospitals that that we're analyzing. So we'll now say new measure. New measure. And we'll call this number of hospitals. Okay. So now there's a function called distinct counts. Distinct counts. And this thing you're seeing here is called IntelliSense. It's once you type in the first three letters, it already gives you a suggestion as to what you want to do. All right. So distinct counts. Now we're looking for hospital. We now have to, it's now asking us what column. You can see distinct count, column name. So we're not going to tell it the column name we are looking for. So we need to scroll down to hospital facility, hospital discharge facility name. I think this is it. Hospital discharge facility name. Let's see. No, this is hospital discharge facility here. No, it's a hospital discharge facility name. Columns are so much. Hospital. Hospital discharge, total replacement. Let me just expand this. Hospital facility name, yes. Yeah. So that is now, if our formula was not right, we would have seen a caution sign. So now to now view that, we're now going to include our card visual. This is what we call card visual. Put your card visual and click on number of hospitals, and it tells us 151 number of hospitals. Okay. I don't like this column here, so I'll just say delete column from model, so that my formula will now, yes, see, delete column 1. Okay. I like it to look tidy. So formula number of hospitals. So this card visual is now here. Number of hospitals, 151 hospitals. So we have records for 151 hospitals. All right. So next thing we may want to see is of these 151 hospitals, how many is in each service area? So that you will now see why we have this dimension. So it will now, let me now illustrate what we did. Okay. So create another visual called table view. All right. So in the table view, okay, in the table view, we're now going to type on number of hospitals. You can see number of hospitals 151. Now, how do we see the distribution? Okay. Now, if we do this here, what was that column that we saw? Discharge facility name. So let me pick from here. Can you see? Can you see what's happening? We picked it from the. I'm trying to explain why we did service area, not even facility name, service area. I'm looking for the column for the service area so that you would see what's going to happen. Is it this? Yes, service area. Are you saying it's telling us 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1? All right. So this same thing now, I'm going to duplicate this and use our copy, Control and V, paste. So it's refusing to move. I want to illustrate. What I was trying to do. I want to illustrate with dimension table and without dimension table. Now, this is without dimension table. So this is the same thing. So I'm going to unselect this 151 and now pick it from our dimension service area. Can you see the difference? Is everybody with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, yes. Dr. Ken, you're the professional here now. Our people, because I'm trying to explain the importance of creating your dimension table. Because Mesoma asked, why do we have dimension service area? Okay, there's a question in the chat. Okay, it's not a question. Yes, please. Okay, you're with me. Yes. So this is the effect of using dimension. If you don't use a dimension, you run into, this is the same measure, but two different results. When you click on it, you can see the same measure. This is the measure here, but we picked our let me move. We picked our service. Okay. Service area. Okay, count distinct. But when you now add what's it called? Facility name. See what's going on. Now, if we now want to know distinct like this, we will now need to create our own dimension facility name. Okay. But it broke it down like this because we already have our relationship here. So this is the power of having your dimension table done. So we don't need this. So another thing we want to look at now is the let's see. The gender. Okay. We have gender. Now let's go back to our table. If you want to view the table without having to go to without having to go to Power Query. Gender, we have male and female, right? Male and female. So if you want to see the distribution of gender, okay? So we now have to come back. Let me show us how to load Power Query so that we can now have our dimension table for gender, okay? So that we can now do a distribution to see which genders are the highest that were admitted into the hospital. Also ethnicity, you can also look at ethnicity. But we can also do it from here because we have our table. Now, if you click on ethnicity, let's see what happens. Okay, it now scatters it all up. So we need to create a filter for ethnicity so that you will see it filtering, we'll see selection for male for ethnicity. So let's go back to Power Query. To go to Power Query, you just do this and you say edit. Come here and you now say hold on. Edit query. So that now, let me reshare again because I'm sure it has stopped resharing because you're going to load Power Query. Let me reshare the Power Query window. Yes. So back to Power Query. So now we want to create our for ethnicity so that we can see the spread of ethnicity. Okay. So the same thing we did. Who can remind us what we did previously to get this dimension table? Who can remind us on the step we did? I want to be sure. My people who have worked with Power BI or anybody in the call.
We referenced the main table.
Yes, we referenced the main table. So good. We're going to reference again. All right. Reference. And we'll call this dimension ethnicity. Dimension ethnicity. Okay. Dimension ethnicity. So we'll now go here. What's the next step that we did? What's the next step that we'll do to get the ethnicity?
We'll find the distinct details of
we'll do something here first. Let me check the chat. Okay, 2 persons are chatting. Remove duplicate. Reference table, column, delete, remove duplicate. Before you delete, yes, or yes, Rita, is you choose the column, okay, not remove. It's not remove. You don't remove. Oh. You see, you might be working in a database and you don't want to be the reason that that database shut down because you went and deleted column. We are choosing what to load. I didn't do remove column. I said choose. You will choose what to load. All right. So you just unselect. There's option to remove, to delete, but we're not doing, we're just choosing what to load. And what we'll load is ethnicity. Okay, and then we'll now say okay. So it will now only load ethnicity. Then we will now remove duplicates. You understand? Remember, we are not deleting anything, we're just removing duplicates. And I hope I'm communicating. Okay, yes. Rita says okay. Good. Now remove duplicates, and we now have our dimension ethnicity. So next thing we want to see is also male. The distribution of male and female. So we would reference again and call this dimension gender. Dim gender. Okay. So we'll go again, choose column, unselect, and only select gender. Okay. So we now have our gender. Now right click and remove duplicates. So we now have our two unique male and female gender. So we now close and apply. Let me reshare again. So we're now back to our report view. Now, before we do anything, we now need to create relationship. Now come to our model view. And again, Power BI, okay, this is formula. Power BI has automatically created a relationship because Power BI is robust and smart. So let's see if the right relationship was created. And now this is what, for those of you who are conversant with programming, this is what we now have our schema, where our star schema is coming to light. Okay. Where did it create a hair? Good. So let's see for gender, gender, you can see now, gender to gender in dimension gender to this. So this is okay. Ethnicity, dimension to host to dimension. So this is okay. Now we'll now go to our report view. All right. Now we'll now include slicer. Where is the slicer? Include slicer. Sorry, Control Z. That was not what I wanted to do. You saw what happened, right? I was supposed to click outside. I went and clicked on this. So it's not slicer. It's to change it back to table view. Yes. Table view. Click outside and then click on slicer. So that it gives us our slicer. Then our ethnicity is what we want in our slicer. Okay. So slicer, format slicer, what option? Click on slicer, go to visual, format visual, your slicer settings, vertical list or drop down. Drop down looks more like it. Come to general. Drop down looks more like it. So that when you say drop down, this is it. You now click. So now see what's happening. This number of hospital. All right. So now see what will happen. Now, if you now want to know the distribution according to how many people were Hispanic, Spanish or Hispanic, have you seen it? Now, because we have created a relationship, now 90 hospitals admitted Hispanic. And of the 90, this is the service area with that. Okay. This is the service area with that with that distribution. Okay, now to now see the distribution for male, I've clicked outside and put in another slicer for gender. Okay, gender. Now go to our dimension gender and select gender. We'll also do a drop down. Sorry, drop down gender. Dr. Ken, how much time do we have left?
So we have spent currently we spent like an hour plus 15
Okay.
minutes. So you essentially have 15 more minutes.
Okay. So what will happen is we will do this in two parts. So this is part one. So part two, for those who say they want to interact, the data set will be included in Discord, right? And then um, questions will be given so that those who want to play with the data will do that. Then at our Dr. Ken, we are going to have this next month, right?
Yeah, it's normally monthly, but because you are split me into two, you might have to come up with maybe in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, 2 weeks, no problem. I'm at your service, no problem. If I can get commitment from everyone here that they are going to actually look at the data set and attempt to give answers to some of the pain areas that that we can get from this. Now, pie charts. This is pie chart view, and then count of hospital. Okay, so now let me deselect this. Okay, and then you now want to see the distribution of gender. Okay, when you click this, you can see. Did you see what just happened? We're now able to see male and female. Okay, because of this. Then you create another pie chart. Or let's see, let's use this. Let's use clustered column charts. Okay, and then on the now let's see on the x-axis. On the x-axis, we're going to bring in the ethnicity. Let's do this. No, in the legend, ethnicity in the legend. Then on the x-axis, on the y-axis, number of hospitals. Y-axis, number of hospitals. So can you see? All because of the dimension relationship we have created. That is why all this is possible. This table should be here. This table should be here. Now, because now with you can see the distribution among the hospitals, because we have the ethnicity in the legend. If we didn't have this, it would not be possible to, okay, let's try it out now. It will not be possible to have it split out this way. And then someone now may want to know which hospital has male across all. Wow. Now men they fall sick plenty. 147 hospitals, male. Okay. So how many females? 148. Okay, it's almost evenly distributed. All right. Then ethnicity of the male, how many are not Spanish?
Hello,
How many
Anthony.
are not?
Please check your chat.
Yes.
Check your chat. I
Okay.
think you have two
Sorry.
questions.
Okay. You please, must there be dimension table for the gender? Without it, won't the visual display correctly? No, it wouldn't display correctly because then again, we can't pick, we can't pick, we can't be picking things that we want to, we can't pick from the main table. If you pick from the main table, it's not going to, you wouldn't be able to create your filter. Rita, okay, let me demonstrate it. See filter. Filter, all right. Now let me now pick gender. Sorry, this is so filter. Let me clear this. Let me clear this. Is all the filters cleared in the, is all the filter cleared? The essence, what now, when you start, don't worry, we're going to provide, is she on the Discord? Rita, are you on the Discord? When I provide the questions, you will see when you're pulling out, let's say you're pulling out where you want to, when you want to include filter statements. Okay, when you want to include filter statement, let's say calculate calculate the number of hip replacements that are for female. When you want to check the counts of hip replacement that are female, when you input the calculate function, I don't think so. Okay, okay.
I will share
Now,
the link to the Discord channel so that she can join.
all right, nice, awesome. Thank you, Dr. Ken. So, once again, I want to thank Medics in Transit for this opportunity. So when we provide the data set and the questions, you will now see the reason for having dimension tables, because when you start creating more measures to check, remember that this hospital wants to look at those who are discharged for a particular procedure, and the procedure in question is the hip replacement. Medics in transit, sorry. Did I say medics in transit or medics in tech? Sorry, medics in tech. Sorry. Yeah, medics in tech. So when you're looking for those who were discharged for hip replacement, you will see where it is important to have your dimension tables, without which your tables would not come out alive. So the Discord channel invite has been shared. So once again, in 2 weeks' time, we shall see. So let me save this, and I'll stop sharing now. So Dr. Ken, remember more about the training available for the training by medics in tech, the training available for Power BI.
All right. So thank you so much, Anthony. It was a wonderful one. I know that there are some people, this is their first time of hearing Power BI. And for some persons, it's even the first time of engaging in analyzing data and healthcare data in data analytics. But for some persons here, they are actually pro. I know of someone like Deborah Kabwe. I know she's been engaged with Esther Shaba. I've seen these names for a very long time, and I don't know how many of us are in cohort 1 of the Medics in Tech scholarship with DataCamp. So there are resources that are available in DataCamp that can actually help you to quickly master this, in no time. And what our mentors are actually doing to walk us through, especially the project-based parts, aside the theoretical aspect that we're going to learn. And this is just the first of it. I think this is the first webinar by a mentor in that scholarship that we have. So if you're not in the Discord channel, please click on it and create a Discord account and join. Now, we'll be posting right inside the Discord a resource you can use, to brush up your, if you don't already, because I believe that there are some that are already, pro in this. But if you already don't know anything about this Power BI, we'll be dropping a link for that so that you can brush up your knowledge. And then for those who already know, who are already pro in this, the data set, this particular data set will also be dropped for you to play around with, with the questions attached to it. And then come next 2 weeks, you can now present what you have been able to achieve. And then he will be able to conclude it and answer, the questions, with the create the complete dashboard, answering those questions as well as addressing those pain points. So you should be able to do this in 2 weeks' time. And if you can start like interacting with the data set right now, in 2 weeks' time, you should be ready with the dashboard, and it will not just drop the data there. The instructions will be there on how to play with it. This recording will be there. It will guide you to be able to create your own dashboard out of it, or potentially be able to complete it once he comes on next 2 weeks online. I mean, live with him. You should be able to complete that with him. And so with this, I thank everyone who was able to stay to the end. Those instructions will be posted to the Discord channel. And I believe if you click on this link now, you should be able to create an account and come into the Discord channel. When you get into the Discord channel, just head over to the Power BI section. That's where we'll be discussing this, not in the general section. We'll be discussing it in the Power BI section. So if I share my screen now to show you that Discord channel, this is the Discord channel. So once you join the community, if you have not joined before, just head over to this Power BI section. Where is it again? Power BI. So it's right here under Power BI. Power BI is under MIT Data Camp category. So just head over. There is SQL, Excel, Tableau, Python, data literacy, data science, together with AI and all. Just head over to here. And this is where we'll be discussing, posting these materials and, posting updates to it so that you'll be ready in 2 weeks' time with your own dashboard, or potentially be able to join him live and complete your dashboard. And then he can also walk us through on how to publish it. And then, so that we can actually get credit for the work done. So I'm going to do mine. Obviously, this is my first time of seeing that data. I'm going to do mine. So you promise you're only going to do yours, and we all share when we come together in 2 weeks' time. So I know that the problem we had, delayed us a bit. So we will try and be proactive so that in next 2 weeks, we will not have this issue of MTN or Airtel, trying to steal some minutes from us. So it's been an amazing time. Olawale Oladaje, Doc Maywada, you've been so consistent, Doc Maywada. Thank you so much. Deborah Akabwe, you're a very familiar face on LinkedIn. Keep it up. Nuruddin Olatunji. Yeah, Nuruddin Olatunji is one of our student coordinators, and he is always consistent in most of our meetings. Rita NK, Peace Ikehi, Mildred, Omotoke Adeboye, and of course, Esther Shaba. I've known you from last year. So let us meet again in 2 weeks' time and conclude this. But in the meantime, let us go to that section which I shared, which is the Power BI. If you are not seeing the recording, if you're not seeing what I have, all this I have mentioned now, just ask here. And they will make sure that in 24 hours, all that I promise will be here and we can actually start. Thank you all, guys. And I think with this, we should be rounding up. So if we had an amazing time, let's say thank you to our mentor. He's doing this free of charge. He's not charging anything. He's one of the mentors for the Data Camp MIT scholarship. And he will always be here with us throughout the year, for the entire year, to make us comprehend Power BI in all its ramifications. And if you already have not gotten any access to DataCamp, in the coming months, more licenses will be created for you to get free access to DataCamp and take some of their certifications also. So thank you. That will be it from me, and that will be it from all of us for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye,
Yeah, bye-bye.
everyone.